distinguished representative of Montenegro. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Dear Ministers of Foreign Affairs, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, let me thank Polish chairmanship for steering the OSCE boldly and proactively during the very tumultuous year. Unprovoked and unjustifiable Russian war of choice against Ukraine warranted to stay absolutely focused on the greatest security crisis in Europe since World War II. We appreciate all your efforts in addressing this crisis. Montenegro condemns in the strongest terms the cold-blooded aggression of Russian Federation and its co-aggressor Belarus against the independence, sovereignty, and territorial integrity of Ukraine and against its people. Since February this year, we've been constantly confronted with an immense violation of the international law and international humanitarian law on the territory of a sovereign European state. We stand appalled with how the inability to win at the battlefield fueled Russian forces into even stronger revengeful acts of terror targeting civilians in their homes, schools, and hospitals, while destroying crucial transportation and energy infrastructure. These shameful acts of Russian forces have no military purpose but to terrorize civilians and cause terrible suffering for Ukrainian people. In these actions, we see clear elements of what constitutes the war crimes and crimes against humanity, and we join our partners in supporting the international efforts to ensure accountability and to bring perpetrators of these crimes to justice. Against this background, Ukraine is courageously and resolutely exercising its legitimate right to defend not only its people and territory, but the democratic values. Montenegro stands closely with Ukraine in full solidarity, providing the principal support to their righteous cause. Montenegro is fully aligned with all decisions and sanctions that the EU has imposed as regards the Russian Federation, and with the allocation of 11% of our defense budget to Ukraine and other forms of support, Montenegro will continue to aid Kiev for as long as it takes. It's clear the Russian war of aggression, which has led to the gravest violation of human rights in Ukraine, seriously undermines the international rules-based order and has dangerous ramifications on European security and stability. Russian malign actors are not limited just to Ukraine, but are adversely affecting neighboring countries and further endangering the security situation in their areas with frozen conflicts. They are also very visible in the Western Balkans, stipulating and fostering directly and through local actors efforts that aim to bring escalation and instability to the region by means of populism and widespread propaganda. Since one of the key aims of these efforts is to imperil European and Euro-Atlantic integrations, it clearly points to need of reinforcement engagement of the EU and other partners in the region so that further progress in consolidating stability and adapting highest democratic standards is ensured. Dear colleagues, this is the hardest moment in our recent shared history, one that puts the OSCE at a crossroads. Even in these most challenging circumstances, upholding the international law and committing to multilateralism is more important than ever to find a way out of this deep crisis. In times of high tension, dialogue is absolutely instrumental and remains the basic precondition to rebuild trust and bridge differences. In spite of serious challenges that OSCE as an organization has faced thus far, it has proved its manifold benefits and value for the Euro-Atlantic and Euro-Asian security and cooperation over time. Therefore, it's without any doubt that we must preserve the OSCE as a unique platform with a distinct toolbox and revitalize it. To this end, we need to properly equip the OSCE. First and foremost, we need a prompt decision on the unified budget that serves us all, if we want the organization to be operational. We have to stop putting the OSCE into dire financial situation, the direct consequences of which is less cooperation, less stability, less dialogue, and less leverage to make a real difference on the ground. The timely decision on chairperson in office is another crucial element affecting the functioning of the organization. We must come together in the spirit of constructiveness and flexibility and find a way forward with a view to enable the OSCE to be relevant and address growing challenges of the contemporary security environment. Allow me to conclude by reiterating gratitude to the Polish chairmanship and at the same time wishing all the success to our neighbors, friends, and ally North Macedonia in 2023. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I now pass the floor to the next speaker on my list, which is the distinguished